train, he put it on the tracks, and he ran it down the Lord knows where. Oh me, oh my, we ran it down the Lord knows where. Well, you should have been in town when Reuben's train came round. You could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Oh me, oh Lordy my, you could hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Last night I lay in jail, no money to go my bail. Oh Lord, now it's sleeted and it snowed. Oh me, oh my, oh Lord, how it's sleeted and it snowed. I've been to the east, I've been to the west, I'm going where the chilly winds don't blow. Oh me, oh my, oh I'm going where the chilly winds don't blow. Well, that train that I ride is 100 coaches long. You can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Oh me, oh my, you can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. I got myself a plane, laid Reuben in the shade. I'm making me a graveyard of my own. Oh me, oh my, oh, you can hear the whistle blow 100 miles.
It's been a while since I did that one. How many years ago would that have been? I released that album in 2017. But it must have been recorded in 2015 or before. I don't remember what year it's from, but it is pretty old. Pretty old. So today we're going to do some bluegrass. Just like all that nonsense. Got some reverb on the old, talking thing. You think there will be nuclear war? No, I don't think that there will be nuclear war. I don't think it's likely. I think that there's some kind of agreement going on about how things are going to be split up. If I'm going to talk normal, let me turn that off. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think that it's going to be a crazy nuclear war or World War III. Since Ukraine's not in NATO, see, a lot of people are like, oh, well, Putin's ambitions are who's next after Ukraine. But the problem is like Latvia convened Article 4, invoked Article 4 of the North Atlantic Treaty, and called together the Council for NATO for consultation, and I can't see them walking into a NATO country like that. Like Belarus seems to be on board with them because they've been doing some military operations out of Belarus. I don't really know, though. I'm really not an expert in yeah, Russia and China have both shown aggression. What I think is going to happen is that the American empire is just going to collapse, basically, or just going to let it happen. It's gonna. There's everyone knows that the world is moving toward a multipolar realignment. The way that it has been through most of history is that there's multiple major powers. So the superpower period for the United States looks like it's over. China is expected to. I mean, they've said that it's just a matter of time before they invade Taiwan. It's just, and I believe them. I believe it's just a matter of time. Russia is. The thing is that I think that Americans, we have a very biased point of view on what's acceptable because we've accepted the world as it is as the status quo. The thing is that we're over there in their backyards. They're not over here in ours. You know, like we are constantly pushing to hem in Russia and hem in China and like contain other powers, and obviously they're going to eventually be tired of it, and the threat of nuclear war is enough for them to make small power plays over time that will add up. Because if they make small enough moves with enough financial incentives for people in Western democracies, then they're probably. I don't think that it's going to be a big. I don't think that it will blow up into a big nuclear war, personally. But that's just my suspicion of the thing, because, you know, I just don't think that it's likely. What do you think, Enam? You think it's on the way? I don't know. That whole thing is going to be it's going to be weird. It's going to be interesting to watch it unfold. Um, it sounds like Russia's going to take Ukraine very quickly. I mean, they kind of already have. And yeah, that's pretty much it, you know? I mean, the thing is like we as the United States, we said we're going to invade Afghanistan. You know, Afghanistan borders Russia and China, or I mean, it borders like the Russian sphere of influence anyway. And you know, it's like we. Let's see. I need to move this. Let me move this over here, somewhere where it's readable. So it has to be legible somehow. Make it smaller. Maybe like that. Anyway, the whole thing, you know, it does. In some ways, it does resemble Hitler with Czechoslovakia. You know, um, so you know, there's yeah, there. I mean, but the situation of the world is much different than in World War II. And the stupid thing is, the more I feel like sanctions are not going to work because their stock market is going to be hurt, their international investments are going to be hurt, but Ukraine is the fourth most valuable country in the world in terms of natural resources. And Russia is like hugely uncultivated in the amount of resources that they potentially have. They can easily self-sustain, especially after getting Ukraine, which was called for a long time the breadbasket of Europe. They can farm so much food in Ukraine, they could feed, you know, way more than their own population. And I just don't think that I don't cutting them off from trade. See, this is what we always do, and this is what I thought was stupid about Trump and China too, was that separating from trade partners is generally a terrible, terrible idea. Or because the more, if they're financially, if their pocketbook is dependent on being friends with you, they'll be friends with you. I mean, that's how the world has been at peace, basically, for since World War II. I mean, but the thing is that we do keep invading places, and then when somebody else does it, we say, "Look at how evil this guy is," and we, you know, he gave an hour-long speech to explain why he did all those things, or why he's doing them, in Ukraine, and then, you know, how many George W. Bush gave lots and lots of speeches about why we should invade Iraq, but the invasion of Iraq was like way less legitimate than Russia supporting the independence of Donbass. Like the 2014 civil war, like Russia was already involved in this whole Ukrainian conflict, going back, you know, going back through history, through the existence of Russia, and I just think it's like if we had interfered in Mexico having a civil war, and then now we support Baja California separating from Mexico, and then we send troops into Baja California. It'd be like, that's what it would be like. It'd be something, except that Baja California is not worth what Ukraine is worth. Ukraine is a very valuable country. But it's I don't know. We go into these countries, we invade these countries as the United States. We think like, oh well, we're doing it for good reasons. We're liberating people. We're, you know, bringing democracy or whatever. But that's all propaganda bullshit too. All that's propaganda, and the propaganda of the Russians, it just happens to be we're supporting the independence of these people of Donbass, but they're doing the same shit that we do, which is they do it for oil, and they do it for resources, and they do it for money, and, you know, just like how we supported a coup in Bolivia for lithium, for batteries, for Tesla and all that shit. Like we've been like assassinating leaders in South America for decades and decades, and like the shit that we do is not any better than the shit that they do. So I just feel like there's no, if we are smart, we shouldn't get involved. We should say this is out of our and the thing is that we have gone back on our agreements about to curtail NATO expansion, because the United States was a superpower. It could basically bully anyone into whatever it wanted, which is fine. I mean, every country does that when they have the power. But, you know, I don't think that highly of the Russian government. You know, I've talked to lots of friends in Russia about it, and it seems to me like the Russian government is genuinely not a very good one. I mean, not to say that it's not... well, it sounds like it's not very efficient. It doesn't work very well, and it's because it's very oligarchic, and you know. But in the United States, we have a corporate oligarchy. Basically, we got reclassified that by some think tanks. Anyway, I guess that generally sums up my thoughts. Is like usual, I'm pretty neutral. That's how I am almost with everything. Is I'm like, I see the sides of it, and I know that America is my team, you know? So I live in America. I was born in America. I'm the 15th or 16th generation born on North American soil. In I think the 15th born on the soil, 16th generation, 16 generations ago, they settled in Jamestown, and were prominent there for a long time. So all that shit is, you know, this is my team, so I can't go against my team. But at the same time, I could admit, I am allowed to criticize how we're shit, and how, not to say that Russia's any better. It's just that we do shit that's just as bad as this whole Ukraine thing. So we didn't have a nuclear war over Iraq or Afghanistan. The Soviets had the Soviet-Afghanistan war. They tried to get Afghanistan and couldn't. The Soviet Union collapsed. Afghanistan the graveyard of empires. He called it the graveyard of empires for hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, maybe thousands. I don't. It's been the graveyard of many an empire, and it was right at the same time that the Soviet Union collapsed. They had been fighting the Soviet Afghani war, and then like if you watch Rambo 2, the ending of Rambo 2 is dedicated to the brave mujahideen fighting for freedom in Afghanistan. And the reason why it was in 1985 is because they were fighting against Soviets. But now we say mujahideen, oh God, they're the worst terrorists. And it's because now we want to invade them. Because Afghanistan has all the rare earth metals, it has all the opium, it has all, it's like these things are, there's public reasons and private reasons for all this shit. The fact that Biden started his speech, it was scheduled for 1 o'clock, but he started it at 2:22 p.m. on 2/22/2022. Seems to me like that's some kind of message. I think that even though Biden's family is heavily invested in Ukrainian oil companies, I think that they've made some kind of deal with Putin. And basically, we left Afghanistan with our tail between our legs. I think that eventually China's going to be right, and that we're not going to defend Taiwan the way that we promised we would. And it may not be next year, it may be 20 years from now, but American power is declining. And I don't know that it will be recovered unless we fix our stupid society, which is not the way things are going. So I don't expect that I don't expect the American empire to continue in the way that it has. And I think that Russia and China, there's going to be, the thing is that people are trying to think about, there have to be like three blocks in order to create a, if Russia and China are one block, they're going to run over a lot of stuff. So you could have, and China's going into Africa, and then it's like, well, if you have China and Russia on one side, and you have India, and maybe parts of Africa might go with them, parts of the Middle East, Iran, North Korea, and Syria probably, at least Assad's side, Syria, and who knows the way South America would go, but then you'd have the Anglo countries and Europe probably on one side. But the Europeans really probably want to stay neutral because they get like 40% of their energy from Russia. So unless they want to go back to nuclear power, they rely on Russian natural gas, which Putin has threatened to cut off. But the thing is winter's almost over, and they could probably figure out something to replace all that natural gas in time. If they, I don't know, they'd have to really hustle. But maybe it's about getting American shale reserves, things like that, over to Europe. Maybe Putin was like, screw it, Europe, we'll cut off Europe and you can have it, and you can make a lot of money on them, and you let me have Ukraine, I'll make a lot of money on them, it'll be fine. I don't know. It's politics is all bullshit. It's all theater, and who cares? We're gonna die when we're gonna die. I just hope they don't take the planet with them, because that would suck. But if all humans die, everything will turn out okay. There will be another one. Why not? You're gonna have to anyway. I'm not saying be suicidal. I'm just saying that death is part of life, and it's like, well, it's gonna happen when it's gonna happen. We don't get to choose that. So, but it's stupid to destroy each other. It's stupid to destroy the planet. I'm not for. I'm not like pro nuclear war. In fact, I'm saying that I don't expect there to be a nuclear war at all. I don't know. I don't know what will happen, but I think it's gonna be something that we haven't seen before. Um, but kind of what I'm expecting is it's gonna be like America's tail between the legs again, and that's gonna be real disappointing to watch. But it's like I almost feel like it's necessary for the planet to move forward. Which I guess is the opinion of the globalists that are probably making the decisions on both sides here. I mean, Justin Trudeau and Vladimir Putin are both really good friends of Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum. And he called them both like superstars of the Great Reset. And it's like, yeah, probably this whole thing is going to crash the global economy, and it's going to everyone's going to move to cryptocurrency. They're going to reset the banking system somehow, and you're going to own nothing and you're going to be happy with it because that's the shit sandwich, and we're all going to take a bite, I'm looking for my capo. I think I dropped it somewhere. I'm sorry about that. I have a really finicky Ethernet cable, and if I nudge it too hard, then it drops my connection. For some reason, my computer will not switch immediately to Wi-Fi. It takes a second, and then it's like OBS is like, no, it's gone. You've ruined everything. And Lord knows I have. I mean, it is fun to consider. I think it's the most interesting thing to happen in decades, really. I mean, COVID was not interesting. It was stupid. Not my kind of political theater. But this whole Russia thing is very interesting. Whether it's going to be good or not, probably not. This way? I'm gonna have to move this way? What? It's weird to have to You gotta move this. But then my microphone's too far? Dang. I don't know. Well, they gave him his orders in Washington Station. This is how they read. got old 97, and if you don't be in time, you'll be dead. They gave him his orders down in Monroe, Virginia, saying, Steve, gotta be on time. This ain't the old 98, it's the old 97, so you'll put her in dispenser on time. Well, he turned and he said to his tired and greasy fireman, shuffle on a little more coal. And when we get over that old White Oak Mountain, well, you'll see old 97 roll. Well, it's a mighty rough road from Lynchburg to Danville, a line on a 3-mile grade. It was on that grade that he lost his air brakes. You should see what a jump he made. Well, they were coming down the grade, doing 90 miles an hour, when the whistle broke into a scream. Oh, he was found in the wreck with his hand on the throttle. He was scalded to death by the steam. Well, word came down to Washington City, and this is how it read. Well, the brave engineer that had run old 97, well, he's lying down in Danville dead. So all you pretty ladies here, take warning from this day now and learn. Never speak harsh words to your true love and husband. He may go one day and never return. I always thought that last verse was funny. The moral of the song is not don't speed in a train or anything like that. Don't drink while you're driving trains. It's just, hey ladies, don't say mean things to your husband or else they might die in a train accident. And never come back. Typical mansplaining deal. Well, I was born one morning, yeah, with the rain pouring down. And I heard my mama say to my papa, let's call him John Henry Brown. Now you walk on, boy. Hey, you walk on down the road. Well, there ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry your load. Well, I left my mama and papa when I was just about the age of 12. I got me a job working on the levee, toting water for the hard-working men. Now you walk on, boy. Walk on down the road. Well, there ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna help you carry your load. One day my papa gave me some advice I'd like to tell to you. Well, son, find a good woman, be good to her, and she's going to be good to you. Now you walk on, boy. Walk on down that road. Well, there ain't another man in this whole wide world gonna help you carry your load. Well, if anybody should ask you, well, just who is that fella Brown? Hey, you tell him I'm the man that left his hammer smoking when he beat that old steam drill down. And you walk on, boy. You walk on down the line. Well, there ain't nobody in this whole wide world gonna ease your troubled mind. Now you walk on, boy. Well, you walk on down the road. There ain't nobody in this wide world gonna help you carry your load. Well, walk on, boy. Walk on, boy. Walk on, boy. You walk on, boy. Yeah, man. I like that stuff, man. I'm just a crazy kook, though. Yeah, well, let's see. What's going on over here? Well, that's fine. It is what it is, man. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. There's peaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. If I can't have my Shady Grove, I don't want none at all. Well, Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I say. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound to go away. When I was a younger man, I wanted to borrow a knife. Now I want little Shady Grove to say she'll be my wife. Well, Shady Grove, my little girl, Shady Grove, my darling. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm going back to Harlan. Well, last time I saw my Shady Grove, she was standing in the door, shoes and stockings in her hand, and little bare feet on the floor. Well, there's Shady Grove, my little girl, and Shady Grove, my darling. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm going back to Harlan.